The NFL's all-time leading rusher, Super Bowl MVP, NFL MVP, 3-time Super Bowl champion with your Dallas Cowboys. It is Emmitt Smith. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Well, obviously,
awesome.
Everyone's excited to talk to you. As Metroplex people, we are even more excited to talk to you. And I know we're going to talk about your
Herradura.
Yeah, that's right.
Gosh.
Right here. Now, Corey, that's for him to talk about, not for you to drink.
I opened my cup. I already tried to get some of that Herradura.
He tried.
That's legend right
Yeah,
there.
it is. That's legend. Legendary, too.
You know what's weird? I thought about you, Emmitt, this morning when Kyrie
nice.
Irving got traded to the Dallas Mavericks. I remember in about 1994 your cameo in that you are true blue because I'm a Dallas Maverick fan.
Yes,
so I'm wondering, are you still a Dallas Maverick fan?
Yes, I am a big-time supporter of all of Texas sports. I mean, when my favorite team is playing against them, whoever that might be, then I still root for the Mavs, or I root for the Rangers, I root for the Astros. Whoa. And every now and then I even root for if the Astros are playing the Rangers, then I'm with the Rangers.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. If the Rockets are playing the Mavs, then I'm with the Mavs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I still root for all the teams. Now the Spurs, that's a little different because the Spurs was good back in the day.
Yeah.
But I still rooted for the Mavs.
Yeah.
Good man.
Still
Good
rooting for the
man.
Mavs.
Now, since you're talking about
And I love that Kyrie is in Dallas.
Woo!
Yeah, I love that he's in Dallas.
it just makes the team so much more exciting. I know people are fired up. They won last night. He looked really good. I'm pumped for that as well.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of legendary, I want to see if you can confirm or deny. Do you remember the Super Bowl in Minneapolis when everyone was crammed into the food court?
Yeah.
All right. So my friendly programming director here was telling me, not my friendly programming director was telling me that there might have been some obnoxious as hell Eagles fans. I guess I could have just said Eagles fans.
But they're everywhere anyway.
Yeah, that they were talking some trash and trying to spell out Eagles right behind you.
Yeah.
Is it true that you stood up and just kind of flashed your 3 Super Bowl rings
Yes.
at them and that shut them down?
Well, that's all I can do with these. I mean, sometimes people just need to be it's amazing to me. Everyone expects athletes to be humble and have a level of humility and treat people with a level of respect. They expect these things of us. But yet, on the fan side, they get to say, do whatever they want to do and not have the same level of respect or things of themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how contradictory so many things are. So the Eagles, on the other hand, they talk about how flamboyant the Cowboys are. They win something, and now they want to walk around and let the whole entire world know we won. They're beating themselves on the chest. Now they back here again. It's the same daggone way.
Yeah.
And they want to talk about how much Dallas sucked. Why don't you just enjoy your moment? Because you know what?
Yes.
Everything is cyclical. You may be winning right now, but there's going to come a point in time somebody's going to have their foot on your throat. And you're going to feel worse than worse.
I hope it's Patrick Mahomes on Sunday. I really do. I want that to be.
Man, Emmitt, a lot of people, and we have Jerry on every week during the football season, but a lot of people will be like, Jerry is the problem with the culture with the Cowboys. And I don't know that that's the case.
It's not the case.
You are on championship teams. Who was in charge of the culture for y'all's teams?
Jimmy Johnson set the culture for the entire thing. He set it for our team, and he set the expectations for where we were, as well as the organization. Now, Jerry did his thing because Jerry had his own expectations.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Jimmy set the tempo for everything that we did, and he was in charge of the thing that was going to drive the value that Jerry wanted.
Yeah.
And so, if you got a quality team, and you're out here competing and you're playing in Super Bowls and winning Super Bowls and so forth, the value of everything else soars.
Yeah.
Now, you can go and build a brand-new stadium. You can go build a brand-new headquarters and facilities and everything else, and your asset value can go up. But if the quality of the team is not there, all that stuff is like, okay, it's for show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So which one is true? Well, let the main thing be the main thing.
Yeah.
And the main thing is the Dallas Cowboys as a football team and winning daggone championships. So it's been 27 years since we've seen or even sniffed an NFC championship.
Yeah, it's tough.
20-some years.
It is rough.
Sometimes people will say, well, you're just not lucky. Talk about it from your perspective as a player of how much does luck play into making it to a championship game or making it to a Super Bowl?
Well, I've heard coaches say this, and I truly believe this. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Yes,
Yep.
I love that saying.
You got to be prepared, though.
You got to be prepared for the moment.
Yeah.
And the way you get prepared for moments, you have to simulate game-type situations all the time and put guys in pressure cookers so when they're in it, they don't feel all that pressure.
Yeah.
And they know how to perform under that pressure. And that's what Jimmy did for us. When you start talking about culture, it's that culture that you must grow up in. It's that culture that you must learn to accelerate in and execute in. It's that kind of pressure. You just can't walk out there and just think that you're going to turn it on whenever you wanted to. You can be great during the regular season, but when the postseason come around, people say, well, it's still the same game. Yes, it is still the same game, but it's played at a totally different level, mental level, emotional level, physical level, and execution level. Everything is buttoned up, and nothing is left for chance. And the ones that are out there playing the game with that's left for chance are the ones who find themselves on the outside looking in.
Man, that's really – I love what you just said there because I was talking with Nate before the Cowboys played Tennessee, and he was like, I hated these kind of weeks because these were the kind of weeks that Jimmy had us working harder.
Exactly.
A game we're supposed to win easy, Jimmy was all on us.
All on you. I mean, there was no – I mean, I hated weeks when you have an emotional game and you win. Then the following week you had to come back and play a lesser opponent.
Yeah.
And that's when you get that's why they call certain games a trap game.
Mm-hmm.
And so Nate is absolutely correct. Jimmy knew, and he would have us practicing harder the next week. No matter how much of an emotional game we just came from, we practiced harder the next week because he didn't want that emotional letdown.
Now, we got a couple things we need to let people know. We'll get to the Troy Aikman thing in a second, I promise, because some people are mistaken about how things were. But tonight, we're hoping for amazing news with Darren Woodson.
Yes.
How much of a no-brainer is it that Darren Woodson should be in the Hall of Fame?
You know, for me, I think it is a no-brainer. He was a key element to all of the success that we had with the Dallas Cowboys, especially on our defensive side of the ball. I mean, he holds a lot of the Dallas Cowboys records for far as defense goes. I hate the simple fact that the day that I broke the record, he did something very spectacular and it got overshadowed in that way. But, I mean, you talk about great football teams and Dallas Cowboy football teams and Dallas Cowboy players. You cannot just talk about Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, and so forth. You have to talk about Charles Haley's and the Deions and the Darren Woodsons and maybe even Ken Norton in the same breath.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would be a crying shame not to have Darren Woodson's name brought up today and not having him going into Ken.
It's always interesting to me, the 60s Packers, the 70s Steelers, the 80s 49ers, now we're looking at the Patriots. All these dynasties, and you guys were a dynasty, have a whole bunch of players that get into the Hall of Fame
Right.
because of what they were able to accomplish as a team
Right.
and dominate the league. And the Cowboys are the one team that dominated the league for amount of a time. And, yes, you're in the Hall of Fame and other guys are in, but it didn't seem like other guys like Darren Woodson or
Right.
who you're naming, you're like, man, more guys get in when teams do this.
More guys should be in when teams do what we do and do what we did. And Darren Woodson is one of those guys that should be in there. Aaron Williams is one of those guys that should be in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, you got some other candidates that you could throw in there too.
Yeah.
So,
Nate Newton for
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
six-time Pro Bowl.
yeah.
Yeah, but only Larry Allen's in, and we're like, okay, so people talk about how great this offensive line is, but you clearly don't think it was that great if none of these other people are in.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's perplexing. Now, one more thing we're hoping you can help us and our audience out, and then I do actually want to talk to you about the Kentucky Derby and all the cool stuff that's going to be happening there is we get people time and again. who I don't know if they weren't watching or they just don't care, whatever the case might be. But they're like, look at Troy's stats. He was a guy. And it drives us insane. What would you say to people who are like, I don't know, Romo's stats are better and blah, 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 blah,
Blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. His stats may have been better, but Troy got 3 rings. Winning is not all about stats.
Yeah.
Success is not all about stats. Individuals can amass a number of stats. Great teams have stats, great quality players, and many championships. That's what great teams are all about. Trust me, Tony Romo would trade all those stats
Oh, my God, yeah.
for an opportunity to be in the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. That, I mean, if there's one regret, is not having punched that ticket. Troy punched that ticket 3 times. So for all of you stat lovers, I just say this.
You can look them
You can
right
have
here,
your damn stats. You can have your stats. Give me my rings. And I promise you, they're going to talk about these rings. How long are they going to be talking about your stats? Because somebody else is going to come get those stats that you're talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking.
But ain't nobody going to come get them rings.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. We're talking with Emmitt Smith, obviously, about Tequila Herradura as well.
Yes.
This is going to be the first ever official tequila of the Kentucky Derby. And are you going to the
Amazing.
Kentucky
Yes,
Derby?
I'm going to the Kentucky Derby, and this is the first sponsorship of the Kentucky Derby that's a tequila brand. And that's awesome. So, kudos.
That's a nice bottle, too.
That's
man.
a great bottle.
That's gorgeous.
Hey, this Tequila Herradura is such a fine tasting tequila, all the way down throughout the brands. When you think about the Kentucky Derby, it's the creme de la creme
Yes.
Yeah,
of derbies.
yeah, it's true.
This right here is the creme de la creme of tequila.
Man, are you going to have a sweet-ass hat for the Derby, too?
Man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I need to wear a hat, but hats are for the ladies, not for me at the Derby. I have to show off this, this face.
Well, I know you got other spots to be. We appreciate you talk with the Metroplex, set some people straight for sure, and obviously a whole nother reason to get pumped for the Kentucky Derby.
Absolutely,
Thank
man.
you very much, good
Thank
sir.
you, guys. Be blessed. Drink responsibly, and I'll see you guys down the road.